Philadelphia wasn't chaotic. It was designed not to be. Straight streets, measured blocks, rules written into the ground itself. In the 1700s, while other cities grew by accident, this one grew with intention. This was Philadelphia, a city built on the belief that order could shape people. From its earliest days, Philadelphia is planned. Not loosely, precisely. The grid is deliberate, streets intersect cleanly, space is allocated before crowds arrive. Nothing here is meant to surprise. The city reflects Quaker values, discipline, restraint, balance. Order isn't just aesthetic. It's moral. The belief is simple. If the environment is controlled, behavior will follow. Wide streets discourage disorder. Public squares create visibility. Clean design encourages calm. Philadelphia becomes an experiment. And for a while, it works. The city grows steadily. Trade flows through its ports. Craftsmen thrive. Workshops hum quietly. Unlike louder ports, Philadelphia feels stable, predictable, respectable. But order attracts something else. Power. Merchants accumulate wealth quickly. Shipbuilders expand operations. Warehouses line the river. Industry grows, but carefully, tucked into designated spaces. Nothing spills where it doesn't belong. This is growth with boundaries. And boundaries always serve someone. As population increases, so does oversight. Laws regulate behavior. Assemblies debate morality alongside commerce. Public conduct is watched closely, not aggressively, but constantly. Control here is polite. And polite control is harder to resist. Philadelphia becomes a city where reputation matters deeply. Deviance isn't punished immediately, it's remembered. Social pressure does the work institutions don't have to. But industry doesn't stay quiet forever. By mid-century, production increases, demand rises, labor becomes necessary at scale. The city absorbs workers from surrounding regions, housing tightens, inequality becomes visible. Order begins to strain. Because order assumes cooperation. And cooperation requires consent. Those who benefit from the system see structure as fairness. Those who don't begin to see it as limitation. Streets designed for calm now feel restrictive. Rules meant to guide behavior feel selective. Philadelphia notices the tension and responds the only way it knows how. With more structure, regulation expands, institutions grow, authority remains civil but firm. The city doesn't crack down loudly, it refines, adjusts, tightens just enough to restore balance. But balance for whom? As revolutionary ideas spread, Philadelphia becomes a center for debate. Pamphlets circulate, meetings form. The city that values order now hosts arguments about freedom, rights, and power. That contradiction is dangerous. Because control doesn't like being questioned. Philadelphia holds itself together through procedure. Decisions are debated endlessly. Changes are incremental. Disruption is managed, not confronted. The city believes this will be enough. That reason will prevail. That order will contain passion. But the pressure doesn't disappear. It concentrates. Beneath the grid. Behind the rules. Inside people who feel managed rather than represented. Philadelphia has built a system that works, as long as everyone agrees it should. And by the late 1700s, that agreement is starting to fracture. Quietly, persistently, in a city designed to behave, something is beginning to push against the lines drawn for it. And once people notice the lines, they rarely stop at acknowledging them. By the late 1700s, Philadelphia had become very good at managing itself. Too good. The grid still held, streets remained clean by colonial standards, trade moved efficiently through the port, institutions functioned with an air of civility that impressed outsiders. But beneath the calm, something subtle had shifted. Order no longer felt shared. It felt enforced. As commerce expanded, wealth concentrated. Merchants and landowners gained influence, while artisans and laborers felt increasingly boxed in, by prices, by rules, by reputations that followed them through the city's orderly streets. Philadelphia didn't suppress dissent openly. It absorbed it. Meetings were allowed, pamphlets circulated, debates filled halls and taverns. On the surface, this looked like freedom. In practice, boundaries remained firm. Who spoke carried more weight than what was said. And people noticed. The same systems that maintained stability also defined who belonged at the center and who remained on the margins. Order, once comforting, began to feel selective. Industry pushed the issue further. Workshops grew, shipyards expanded, demand for labor increased, but protections did not. The city prized productivity, yet resisted disruption. Complaints about wages, conditions, and access were acknowledged politely and then deferred. Philadelphia specialized in delay. That strategy worked until it didn't. As revolutionary ideas sharpened, the city became a paradox. It hosted arguments about liberty while maintaining structures designed to restrain it. Freedom was discussed passionately in rooms governed by rules about who could enter. The tension wasn't explosive. It was procedural. Every debate tested how much control the city could maintain while claiming to support change. Every compromise satisfied no one fully. Every delay increased frustration just enough to be felt, but not enough to force resolution. Order kept the peace. It also kept problems intact. When conflict finally reached a breaking point, Philadelphia discovered that structure alone couldn't contain momentum. Systems built to guide behavior struggled to adapt when behavior itself began changing faster than rules. The city didn't collapse. It adjusted, slowly, carefully, unevenly. Authority shifted from moral oversight toward political negotiation. Control softened into governance. Industry continued, but with growing awareness that order without inclusion creates pressure that never fully dissipates. Philadelphia emerged changed, but recognizable. Still structured, still deliberate, still convinced that balance mattered, but no longer convinced that order alone could create it. Philadelphia in the 1700s reveals a quiet truth about power. Order is never neutral. It reflects values. It protects interests. It draws lines. This city proved that structure can build stability, encourage growth, and prevent chaos. It also proved that control, when too refined, can limit voices without ever silencing them outright. Philadelphia didn't fall apart. It evolved under pressure. And that evolution shaped how modern cities learn to govern themselves, not through force, but through systems that appear fair while deciding who they work best for. The grid remained, but the meaning of what it controlled changed. If you want history that looks beyond events, that examines how cities quietly manage people, power, and behavior, subscribe. This channel explores moments when order shaped the future as much as rebellion ever did. Maury cities, Maury centuries, Maury stories about how control is built, one rule at a time.